Standing, look in the mirror, how could you face that? Mask on, don't even know where my face at. Plenty, don't even know where waist at. All these in the room, how could you waste that? Huh? Why would you chase that? It's a never-ending run on this racetrack. No matter what, I'ma stay black. It's a never-ending run on this racetrack. Need more jewelry. What I tell myself as I'm writing my eulogy. Ask the mirror, how you put up with this foolery? It reply, how you put up with this song and dance, soulless buffoonery. Long romance, death, what it do to me? Yamagini dream was a nightmare. He was dancing with the devil for his life, yeah. We all on the dance floor. Girl, come with a dance. Puerto Rican in the breathing heavy. Little had my looking daddy. Couldn't tell him nothing cause we lost him already. Cozy boy with his spaghetti. With the money and fame, the price come heavy. The price come heavy. Like Shaq attack up on a backboard. Got me back up on a backboard. When she asked me if I love her, I just act bored. Say loser, ask for it. Living movie, blockbuster, this ain't a rental. Choking moody, all these diamonds up in my dental. I get never minded if I offend you. I need the silence, chaos is in my mental. You need a PJ, first class, not what you went to. You need the relay, chase money like you sane. I'll give you the boat, chain, and plane. Fame name, that's insane.
This is Madden 19. I'm the coach. You're locked into the NFL on EA Sports. Up next, Matthew Stafford and the Detroit Lions take on Mitchell Trubisky and the Chicago Bears. I'll have scores around the league for you at the half. But it's time for a little football. So we'll hand it over to our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to one of our favorite spots, venerable Soldier Field in Chicago. Just a short time ago, this crowd loud enough to shake the foundations of this nearly century-old building. They are ready for football indeed in Chicago as their guys get set to do battle with the Detroit Lions. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, you look at this Bears team entering play. They come in just in an absolute free-fall, losers of 7 in a row.
And this is where you turn to your best players and look at them and say, can you guide us out of this? We've got to be better than what we've shown.
Meanwhile, for the Lions here, they've certainly found their groove of late, winners of 5 in a row.
And I think the sky's the limit for this team. They're playing the best football that they've played in a long time.
The shadow's starting to get a bit longer. Week 10 of the NFL season is here, and we're underway on EA Sports. On the return, it's Tariq Cohen. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. So here are the Bears now for their opening drive. They'll be led out by their 6'2" QB out of North Carolina, former number 2 overall pick. It's Mitchell Trubisky.
Would you say that last week's performance by him, workmanlike in terms of numbers?
1 touchdown, 1 pick, but obviously a loss.
Yeah, and that's the bottom line for him. All he cares about is how do we find a way to win the game. Maybe leans on a few other parts of the offense, and hopefully springs a receiver or 2 free.
On first down, Trubisky. Throw left side complete. It's Burton. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. 23 yards on the play. Well, that tight end position, it just seems to continue to evolve every year in the NFL.
Yeah, you're getting really terrific athletes. A lot of them maybe were wide receivers at one point. They continue to give you speed, great hands, and big bodies, which make them excellent targets for quarterbacks.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. And the big boys up front in the trenches, what do you think of the O-line, Charles?
I love them because this is a group that's so cohesive. They know what the man next to them is going to do at all times, and they operate as a terrific unit.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. Here's carry number 1 for Jordan Howard. And he's going to take this one down inside the 45. Second down, a little more productive than first. 7 yards on the gain. It gets him to 3rd and 3 now.
Well, I think that's what they're going to need to do here in the first half. You've got to take some pressure off of this young quarterback, and no better way to do it than to establish the running game early.
Here's Trubisky. Finds his target. It's Bellamy. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. His first catch there, good for 10 yards and a first down. Nice job keeping that opening drive alive, and they're in plus territory, that part of the field where you really want to convert on 3rd down. They did. Big-time pickup for them, and now I think the aggressive play callers think to themselves, this part of the field, I take my shot at the end zone, because the closer you get to the end zone, the field gets condensed. Makes it a lot tougher to run those routes. You still got a chance to actually run past people right now. Take your shot at the end zone early in the down and distance count. How about the timing on that one? Boy, they were in sync, weren't they? 3-step drop, ball's out of his hands, right to the tight end. Nice completion, just like they do it in practice. On 2nd down, Trubisky. He's going to dump that off to his running back, Cohen. And he'll go down here right around the 23-yard line. Just 4 yards on the pickup, but that's good enough to extend the drive. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn into a bigger game. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1. This is Howard on 2nd down. And they corral him just a couple yards shy of the end zone. It's a nice pickup of 12 yards, and it gives him a 1st and goal. The impressive opening drive continues, and just space being created by those guys up front.
We're seeing this the same way, aren't we? We are seeing an offensive line, as this game gets started, as it starts to unfold, that they are dominating the line of scrimmage.
Trubisky will throw, and that is incomplete. Trey Burton, the one he was looking for. And now it's 2nd down. A look now at the starters on the defensive side for the Lions. They were very good a week ago in the win over Minnesota.
But when you hold someone to just 6 points in a game, the feeling that you have among your team is you're not going to lose very many of those. That's the way to get it done.
Howard all alone in the backfield on 2nd and goal. Trying to punch it in with Howard. And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Bears. Jordan Howard, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Bears take it all the way down the field and score on the opening drive.
The losing streak had taken on a life of its own, and I think it infiltrates a team when you're on that much of a slide. But this group has managed to focus, come out early, and put a touchdown on the board. They look like they mean business in this one.
They do. Now the key, holding on to that attitude, because, man, that streak has been a struggle for them. Parkey with the extra point, and it's now a 7-0 game. Here's Parkey now, set to kick it away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. So here are the Lions now coming out for their opening drive. Leading the charge at quarterback, the former Georgia Bulldog, Matthew Stafford.
And I thought it was a really nice performance last week by him. 3 touchdown passes. I think that signifies exactly what he was getting done. He did have the 1 interception.
But that's the ratio you say you're okay with, right?
If you go 3-1, you're going to be pretty happy over the course of the season. And let's face it, he'll never blame the receiver publicly. But behind closed doors, he probably told his agent, hey, what's the deal? I should have had a perfect game.
This is the newest member of the Lion backfield, LeGarrette Blount. And he'll wind up with about 6, up past the 30 to the 31. And there are the numbers a week ago for LeGarrette Blount. 11 carries, 58 yards, and a score.
He's been a huge part of their winning streak because he establishes not just an identity and a tone, but the team relies on him. He takes care of the football, he gains yardage for him, chews up clock, and that's been a big part of why they're winning games lately.
Catch number 40 for him on the year. It's a first down. Now, Charles, what's the mindset here offensively? You gave up the touchdown pretty quickly. Would it have changed if you had gotten a stop and it would be 0-0 right now, or no?
I wouldn't think so. I think in most cases, just down a touchdown, you know, I mean, we're just getting started here. It should be a long way to go. You think to yourself, stick with the game plan, all the things you worked out in practice. But you have some teams that when they get down, their natural tendency is to aggressively strike back. And let's see if they want to get outside of the game plan we expect and try and be aggressive on their first series.
And the Buffet boys, the O-line. Hopefully they're ready today.
Listen, you got to feed them first. But if you do, you usually get a great product out on the field. And when they play well, the quarterback can't wait to feed them afterwards.
Back to the air. Stafford on second down. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. He got 29 yards that time.
That's an excellent read right there. Saw cover one. That means it's just a single high safety. So you know if you throw the ball to the outside part of the field, help is going to be a little bit late getting there. And he puts one out there for a big-time completion.
So into Bear territory now. This is 1st and 10 at the 27. Here's Blount. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down. We'll look now at the lineup defensively for Chicago. They come into this one ranked number 17, so just starting the bottom half of the league against the pass.
And those are the kind of plays that this unit needs to make because they know that going against a team of this magnitude and the way that they're playing, they cannot afford to let them get on a roll early. Chip away at their timing.
Monday.
Now the Notre Dame man, this is Theo Riddick. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. It's a nice pickup of 12 yards, and it gives him a 1st and goal. Quite the opening drive march they're on right now.
It looks a lot like what we saw in practice prior to the game, doesn't it? You know, because on that last big practice beforehand, you go through your offensive script. You go through your play calling. You go through all the stuff and establish things. And it looks like it's going like clockwork right now for them.
Now a play fake here on first down. Open is Tate. Touchdown, Lions. Golden Tate, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Lions are an extra point away from tying this thing up.
He was able to move around and found some vision to throw the football. And how about how he ended it? Boy, he had some zip on that throw.
Yeah, it doesn't hurt to have an arm like that. Results in the touchdown here. Great play offensively. Now Matt Prater for the point after. Prater for the extra point, and we are tied at 7. So that drives 7 plays in length, and it's capped off by a touchdown for the Lions. So we're right back where we started, all even as the kick's away. This is taken at the 3. And they'll have good starting field position as he's up just shy of the 40. And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. That last drive, it was a good mix. Run, pass, defense on their toes.
And what really helps out in a big way is when you're doing the run-pass mix and everything's working, that means that they're guessing wrong every time on defense. They think you're going to pass when you run and vice versa. I would continue that, and when they finally draw a beat on you, maybe you mix it up a little bit, a little play action and throw the ball.
And will they maintain that balance? Time to find out. On second down, here's Trubisky. That's caught left side by Bellamy. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. They give him 14 yards that time and a fresh set of downs. On first down, they run with Howard. And he's going to get it across the midfield stripe into Lion territory. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, but some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up third down.
A'Shawn Robinson coming out of the University of Alabama, a big, physical, intimidating force who had to learn to play with more leverage. Otherwise, he's going to get blown off the ball in the NFL. Looks like he's learning his lessons after that play.
On third down, Trubisky. High throw, but the catch is made. Catch number 40 for him on the year. It's a first down.
One of the advantages of zone defense, as I remember it, is being able to see the play develop in front of you. One of the disadvantages, when they find those levels where they can hit you with it. Sometimes behind the corner and in front of the safety, it makes it tough to defend.
Here's Trubisky to throw. Wide open receiver complete. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. 11 more yards that go around, a first down as well.
And after that completion, you can understand why so many teams in the league are emphasizing speed on defense at every position. The tight ends have created so many tough matchups now. If you can't run with a tight end as a linebacker, this is going to be the result every time.
Another nice gain, 16 yards there and a first down again.
His position, and he's listed as a tight end, but he certainly doesn't run like one, and that's what we're seeing more and more coming into the league. Those guys who can run, make plays after the catch, and gain that additional yardage.
And using that speed there to turn it into a pretty nice little gain. And before they can run another play, the clock hits triple zeros. And time is up on the first quarter. 7-all is the score. EA Sports NFL Sunday returns following this.
The NFL on EA Sports is fueled by Gatorade, the sports fuel company.
Brandon Gaudin, Charles Davis back with you as it's Bears football here to begin quarter number 2. And they've got it here with a first down. On first and goal, Howard. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. The loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down. You mentioned very early on the need to establish a running game for this young QB. They really haven't been able to do that, though, in the first half.
So that means what in halftime?
Got his man, and it's caught for a Chicago touchdown. Allen Robinson, his third touchdown now on the year. And the Bears are in for 6. And they use that height on the outside to get the score.
We've seen the evolution of the wide receivers. They've gotten taller and taller, but they've retained their quickness and their speed. It's a lethal combination.
Always good to have wide receivers with height. It took them an extra look, but they found out it is a touchdown indeed. The official says this one counts. Parkey adds the extra point, and that makes the score 14-7. Here's Parkey now, set to kick it away. This one taken from the 7. And he nearly broke that for more, but as it is, they'll start this drive at about the 37-yard line. Now the Lions offense, they get ready to head back out there. And, you know, certainly a lot of football left to be played. We're not into December yet, but right now where we stand, they're first place in their division. Looking good, looking to be a threat come January.
And let's think about what every team has in their goals, all right? Number one goal is what? Make the playoffs. Number 2 goal is win your division. Number 3 goal, and the biggest goal, I think, is to be the highest seed possible that you can be heading into the playoffs so that you can have as many home games as possible to try and get you to the Super Bowl.
And right now fighting for every win possible to try to at least secure home field for the wild card and or divisional round. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. A good pick up there of 20 yards. On the toss, this is Blunt. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. Here's Stafford now on second down. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Getting a hand in there and knocking it away, Eddie Jackson.
When I watched that play, I thought about what my coaches had told me in the past. The biggest teaching point, get your head around. Locate the football so you can make a play on it while it's in the air. That's exactly what he did there. That was nice.
Throwing on third down, Stafford. They're able to locate Wilson. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or two shy of the 30. Stafford to the former Seahawk Wilson for a Lions first.
When this offense can get their tight ends involved, they can move the football. Here, a nice route, able to look it in, and picks up the first down.
They'll run it here with Blunt. Muscles by at the 25. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1.
Even though they gave up more than they wanted to on that play, it actually illustrates how well they've bottled him up throughout the game because that was his longest run of this contest.
They'll run it now out of the gun, and they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. They get 5 out of that one, and it moves the chains.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of their yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another first down with that run.
Now a carry for Blunt. And they'll get him down right around the 16. Eddie Jackson with a tackle.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far. And after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. They'll try the air now with Stafford. And it's caught. And he'll be taken down at the 2-yard line. His first catch, good for 14 there and a first down. And now the passing game here in the second quarter starting to heat up a little bit.
Don't you feel the rhythm starting to happen, right? You see it now. The confidence is starting to rise. I think now as a play caller, because that has happened, you lean on it a little bit more. You don't go totally away from running the football, but you do say, guess what? We can throw it. We can throw it well with a whole lot of confidence.
Out of the gun, Stafford. And he will score. Touchdown, Lions. Matthew Stafford with his second touchdown here in this first half. And the Lions are an extra point away from tying this thing up. So a quarterback scramble, certainly a pass play, but he saw something, tucked it, and got in the end zone.
A lot of quarterbacks, when they scramble, they're scrambling to create more time to throw the ball downfield. In this situation, as you noted, he tucked it and took off. Great play by him.
Prater on to add the extra point. Extra point good by Prater. And we've got a tie game here in a back-and-forth first half. So a tie ball game here as the kick's away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And this offense led by Mitchell Trubisky going to make their way back out there. 5 for 5 that last drive. Touchdown pass as well. He was clicking. Receivers, I don't want to be cliche, but running really solid routes too.
And what I love about it is when you look across any team, all right, the body types of the receivers are usually different. The way that they get open, different as well. Some of them use power to get open. Some of them use those head fakes and subtle moves. Some of them just use pure speed. And the really good ones, when they're established, they know how to push off at the end of a route, too.
Now Trubisky to throw on second. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Jared Davis. And he will return this one to the 30-yard line.
Well, this is a defense that can confuse even the best of quarterbacks with their zone schemes. And here you've got a linebacker that's going to stay at home and just sit down in that zone. And this one basically comes right to him.
And Detroit getting set to go now. It's a quick turnaround for them after the turnover, but the way they moved it on their last drive, they're probably eager to get right back at it.
And you know me and you know my tendencies in this situation. What do I want right now?
Be aggressive.
Be aggressive. Take your shot right here.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Now one. And he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
To throw on 2nd down to Stafford. The left side completion to Jones. Stafford to Jones, enough for a Lion 1st down.
Now that was pretty. They executed that curl route versus zone coverage, and that changes things a little bit because against man, it's often a tight curl, tight, sharply run route. Against zone, you're just looking for that open spot, that dead area, so you may curl it a little bit wider just to get to that place.
And usually a tight window. He fired a bullet in there for the completion. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL.
All right, here we go.
On 2nd down, here's Stafford. This will be caught at about the 6. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. That'll get them to 1st down as they get 9 yards out of that quick slant.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. So a nice job to break the 1 tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down. That gets him 3 yards closer here as it brings up 2nd and goal.
Well, he did get a taste the previous week. He got into the end zone trying his best to get there in this game. So far, he's been denied.
They'll go to Blunt, try and pound it in. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Detroit. LeGarrette Blunt, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Lions have broken our tie as they take the lead.
And that touchdown gives them a touchdown lead before they attempt the extra point. What a great way to end the half.
Yeah, great job to put themselves in front. And now, see on the sideline, special teams defense scrambling, saying we want to preserve this for the final moments of this second quarter. Now Prater to add the PAT. Prater for the extra point, and the lead is now 21-14. So the drive there took 6 plays, and it ends in a touchdown run by LeGarrette Blount. Martin, the punter, now out to kick it away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Bears offense led by Mitch Trubisky heading back out there. He's had a solid start to this game, but bottom line is they're losing, so he doesn't care about his stats. He just wants to right the ship on the scoreboard.
He wants to actually increase his stats because he feels like if he does, that means things will get better for his team, maybe get him back into the ball game or into the lead. In these situations, I remember playing with a quarterback once where he actually ran out onto the field first ahead of everyone else just to say, guys, let's go. Try and create that energy, create that spark.
Well, so far he has 1 touchdown, 1 interception. He'll be looking for that second touchdown now. Line of scrimmage, again the 25, 2nd and 10. Trubisky with the give to Howard. And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30. And a stoppage here, a timeout before this 3rd down play takes place. As the clock will stop with just under 30 seconds to go in the first half. And welcome back, the offensive unit. They took the timeout, and now they get set to line up as we resume action. On 3rd down, this is Howard. He'll have a first down past the 40. And down right around the 37. And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here, as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go here in the first half. So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, it's Trubisky. It's his target. It's Taylor Gabriel. And he'll go down at the 28. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch. Good for 8 yards. Final play of the half. It's Trubisky. And down he goes. They sack him back right around the 41-yard line. And with just 1 second remaining in the first half, they'll call the timeout. So with 1 second left in the half, on is the field goal unit. They'll spot it at the 47, so call it a 57-yard attempt. And this is off target to the left. Didn't get there anyway. It's no good. So we have reached halftime with the visiting Lions taking the lead to the break. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thank you very much. More from you two in a minute, but first, let's take a spin around the NFL and see what's going on here in week number 10. We'll start things out by looking at the AFC South. Indianapolis hosting Tennessee, and they are seconds away from halftime, all tied in that one. From there, we'll head to Cincinnati to check on the Bengals at home at Paul Brown Stadium. And for the moment, they trail the visiting Saints in that one. The veteran Drew Brees with a touchdown pass. Finally, let's get to the country music capital of the world. See what's happening with the Titans at home in Nashville. And they have the lead in that one over the visiting New England Patriots. Tajay Sharp, a touchdown reception. In the game you're watching, it's Matthew Stafford who's had it working in the first half. His guys have the lead on the road at Soldier Field. as we get you back to the Windy City and Brandon Gott.
Okay, Coach. Appreciate it. A one-touchdown game here as we get set to resume play in the second half. This one taken from the 7. Solid return. Pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. The Lions offense now with a football first here to begin quarter number 3. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
We'll see if they do just that. To throw on second down. Stafford. He's got his man on the crossing route. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. That one good for 16, and the drive will continue.
The goal for any offense versus a zone defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. Now they try the right side here. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down.
Well, Brandon, so much for halftime adjustments. They still can't get anything going on the ground. It may be time to loosen things up and start flinging it around a little bit.
Looking to throw on second down. Stafford is going to fire one deep over the middle. And it's knocked away and incomplete. Getting a hand in there and knocking it away, Eddie Jackson. They don't get the hook up there, but you really have to marvel at how precise he's been throwing the football these last couple weeks.
Oh, that's the perfect word for it, precise. Because if you're at 70% or better 2 weeks in a row, you have a job as long as you want one in this league, won't you? I mean, let's face it, it's not just West Coast offense either. He's putting the ball downfield.
Oh, a hit. He lost the football. Stafford puts it on the ground.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
So here are the Bears now as they get set for their first possession of the second half. They were able to get the stop defensively. Now a chance to turn that into points on the offensive end.
Can you imagine what the grease board looks like at the half? Because
no, tell me.
That's exactly what they printed up. Stop them on defense, get the ball back for our offense, and go downfield and score some points. Now, the last part remains to be seen, but they got the first part done very well.
Do people use grease boards, or you mean the magic marker board?
Yeah, those two.
Line of scrimmage, the 28 now as they come up on second and a couple. A give to Howard. And he's going to lose yards. They take him down at the 26. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up third down.
We all have habits. We can be somewhat predictable, and you know me pretty well on second down and short. What I like to see.
Play action.
Yeah, without a doubt. I thought that was a great spot to call it. Instead, didn't go their way, did it?
No, defense sold out for the run. Worked out well. And he's going to have the first down yardage to the 35. Trubisky finding the former Eagle Burton for the Chicago first.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw it, and was able to make the sure catch and put the down marker back to 1.
Now here's a pass on first down that's knocked away and incomplete.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on first down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on first down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up second down.
Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a first down. Well done. It's a pickup of 16 there, and it'll lead to a new set of downs.
I do have to admit, I like it when it all comes together. When the top part, catching the football, right, whether you're catching it with your hands or cradling it, comes together with the legs, in this case the feet, doing a little toe tap to stay in bounds and complete the catch.
And a great job by our crew on the camera shot. Love when you see the grass or on the field turf, those rubber pellets flying up. Great catch. Looking to throw again, Trubisky. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Burton. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. That catch good for only a yard, and it'll be third down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Now Trubisky on 3rd and long. He's going to go for a big play downfield. So they took a shot there on 3rd down, couldn't get it. Now it's 4th. That one doesn't find its target, but all in all, he's been much sharper this week. He was under 50% a week ago, and now he's up over 70%.
But you know it's standard for quarterbacks and receivers get together for a little extra time each and every day in practice. I get the sense they got together for a lot of extra time this week to try and improve that passing percentage, and it's worked out quite well.
And Detroit getting set to go now. This crew had to punt last time they had the ball, but when you've got a lead like this, you content to play the field position game?
You are to an extent, especially if you like your defense, because you have the lead, you've been controlling the game. But why put them in a tougher spot? You want to get out there and get something done on offense and maybe take command of this game yourself.
And he's going to drop this off to his fullback. And a pretty little juke move there on a nice gain. Give him 6 on the play, and that'll make this a 2nd down.
And the big guy catches the ball out of the backfield, and oftentimes it's quite a surprise to guys playing defense because not ordinarily thought as a pass catcher, it often works when they decide to dial it up.
10. To throw on 2nd down. Stafford fighting his way through contact. To the right and complete to Galladay. A really nice pickup of 14 yards, and it moves the sticks. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. It was the linebacker Leonard Floyd on the stop.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
To throw is Stafford. It's brought in left side by Tate. And they work this well upfield across the 45. That one goes for 24 yards. Stafford now 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. Now a handoff looking right. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Stafford. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he'll get it down here to the 43. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down.
Sometimes the most effective routes are the ones that you run in the backyard, and you probably ran them when you were 5 years old. How about that little curl there against zone? But the key to it is finding the open spots in the zone. How a linebacker or a defensive back will widen to give you space. Find that area and let your quarterback hit you.
Call it no gain that time, and they're going to be left looking up at a 4th and 1. Boy, that's a lot of sirloin steak to be taken down for no gain, partner.
Are you trying to suggest that he is a huge man?
He is
not just a big man, a huge man.
Big boy.
Well, how about the credit then for the defense to be able to chop that big tree and put him on the ground?
I know back when you played, it took 4 of you to take a guy like that down, right?
Well, that's for sure. And you know what else? I didn't want to challenge him at dinner either.
Oh, and now he bowls him over. And he's brought down, but following a pretty juke move that gives him the first down. Well, we kind of looked at each other as they decided to go for it, but in the end, great execution, a 6-yard gain, and it all works out. So a moment to catch our collective breath after the 4th down conversion. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now at Soldier Field. It's the Lions holding onto the football, and they also have the lead as we start quarter number 4. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Now they try the right side here. And he'll slice his way down to the 30 with a pickup of 7. Now, I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely. You want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
And inside the 20 before he's brought down. A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks. How about this offensive line? They're really starting to establish themselves, take over this game.
And before the series began, I know exactly what we said in the defensive huddle. Guys, we got to get no less than a 3-and-out. Let's get off the field. Instead, they can't find any traction towards doing that. Right now, they're just getting muscled all over the field and getting pushed down it.
It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
And they'll go on the ground. So he got 3 at 1 tackle, but couldn't do a whole lot else. Give him 4 on the carry, and it'll make this a 3rd and about 2.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll find his way down inside the 10 to the 9-yard line. It'll be called a gain of 2, and that'll leave him with some options here on 4th and inches.
We've seen this offense go for it on 4th down already on this drive. I wonder if they'll go for it again.
I certainly wouldn't rule it out with these guys. No move to get the offense off the field here. They've converted once on this drive. On 4th, they'll go again and try it once more. On the sneak, it's Stafford. And he'll be touched out here, but not before he does pick up the first. So the decision to go for it turns out to be a good one. They get a couple of yards, and as a result, the drive keeps moving. It's now 1st and goal. So 1st and goal, 6 points here would go a long way toward wrapping this one up. And they'll go with a ground attack here. And he gets him a little bit closer. He takes it from the 6 inside the 5 to the 4.
Well, Brandon, we always know that once you score 1 touchdown,
you're
without a doubt. And so far today, he's got 1, but was denied as he tried to get the 2nd one.
Under 4 to go now as the clock runs, and they come up on 2nd down. They come up in an offset eye. He's going to get it running right. And now running right through it. So a nice job to break the 1 tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down. Give him right around 4 on the carry. We'll see if they want to keep pounding here on 3rd and goal. Now a toss play to Blunt. And this one will wind up with him losing yardage. Back to the 4-yard line. He loses 4, and it brings up 4.
This offense bent the defense in their long drive downfield, but once they got within sight of the goal line, the defense went to don't break mode and is stiffened.
And Prater's kick is on the money. It's good. And that will push the lead up to double digits now at 10. A big one there. That gives them a little cushion and makes it a 2-score game.
Yeah, bled a little time off the clock, put some points on the board. It's not totally out of reach yet, but it has to feel pretty good to them right now because as a defender, you go out on the field and say, guess what? You can put some points on the board, but that won't beat us.
Elsewhere, they're into the 4th at Lucas Oil Stadium in Indianapolis. And that one's gone back and forth, and it's the Jags that have scored to take the lead. Blake Bortles, a couple of touchdown passes thus far. The Bears offense now gets set to head back onto the field. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut it, all right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field on this drive.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. But, hey, listen, there's got to be casualties at times. We're trying to win a game.
We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. They'll get 9 there as that sets them up better for 3rd down. Time for a break. We're back to finish this one off after this. So the Bears with the football here as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. The Bears on 3rd down. They've been near perfect, 4 for 5 to this point. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. From the shotgun is Trubisky. They'll leave it for Cohen, complete. To get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. And they get 10 yards there and convert on 3rd. Now it's Trubisky. Oh, he's got some breathing room. And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. And the Lions have recovered.
That drive wasn't a case of wanting to put points on the board. It was needing having to, and they didn't get it done.
Yeah, didn't get it done, and now you look at the situation and the point differential, 2 scores, pretty much game, set, match.
How about the takeaway, though, huh? How about those defensive guys?
The Lions offense, they get ready to head back onto the field. They're in a good spot. 2-possession game, barely, but a 2-possession game here late. Now they just have to put this game on ice.
Let's face it, right now, they're talking about ball security, taking care of it, not allowing anything crazy to happen, because we've seen nutty things happen down the stretch, but they also have the security of the scoreboard. With that type of a lead, even if something goes haywire, they're still in good shape.
Oh, and now he bowls him over. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Now the Bears electing to call a timeout defensively. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the 1st down. They're not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Running game working. They'll stick with it on 1st down. And he's going to bowl his way forward to the 48. Now the Bears going to use the 2nd of their timeouts. as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play.
On the ball, on the ball.
And on the ground they go with the running back. And they'll stop him right on the midfield stripe. Now the Bears will use their third and final timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. The Lions on third down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This time it's 3rd and 3. Now a handoff looking right. No gain there on the play, and that's going to leave them with a 4th down.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
This offense 2 for 2 converting on these thus far, so why not try again here on 4th down? They'll go for it.
Zebra! Hey, give me radar.
And they're going to take it all the way down and just take the delay.
Delay of game, offense.
And that'll be accepted, of course, and that moves him back 5. Here's Sam Martin now as he'll punt it away for the second time. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. They might be thinking this is close to a lost cause here. Got to play it out. What do they need to do?
Well, they have a thought process in mind already, but they can't get ahead of themselves. They know that they need to score quickly.
Yep, 2-score game.
Onside kick and get the ball back and then score again, but they can't worry about the last 2 points. The only thing that matters is scoring quickly, then they'll take it from there.
Trubisky to throw. And he's got his favorite target yet again. It's complete. And all the way to the 25 before he's hit and dropped. That one goes for 24 yards. And the spike comes with 9 seconds left to go. And unable to connect. It's incomplete. And the clock stopped at 8 seconds. Throwing now is Trubisky. And this is intercepted. And that should do it. Picked off by Tease Tabor. And they get the football. They'll set up shop at their own 49-yard line.
Obviously disappointing, but you had to go for broke here, down 2 scores. So that forced you to make some throws you definitely wouldn't want to make. And I think this interception is going to pretty much write an end to this one.
They've got good starting field position as they come up here 1st and 10. Throwing here, Stafford. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And it's incomplete. They're still throwing to the very end, but now this game is over. A road win in the National Football League. Charles, you never take that for granted no matter who you're playing, no matter where you're playing.
You take it and you run with it. And you know you primed the pump all week in your own home facility. No one thinks we can do this. Only people who believe are right here in this room. And then you go on the road, band together, and get it done.
So for the Lions, they're setting themselves up as a major contender as they move to 8-1 now on the year. And they'll return home next week to take on the Carolina Panthers. Meanwhile, for the Bears, the difficult season continues as they drop to 1-8. And they'll get a home date next week against the Minnesota Vikings. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Certainly have to thank Charles Davis, my broadcast partner, and our entire crew. We'll catch you next time right here. It's the NFL on EA Sports.